the White House pushing back on a report that President Trump is mulling over whether to pardon Sean Diddy Combs or not.
That's
First
kind
of
of
all, he doesn't mull over things, okay? You ask him a question and he just reflexively. So we'll make a decision. I believe that he's not mulling anything over. I'm sure he's being advised, but anyway, as you know, Sean Diddy Combs is right now serving 4 years in prison on prostitution-related convictions. That's in New York. But TMZ, they're reporting that Trump is considering commuting his sentence. The White House, again, denying that report, saying no truth to it, but TMZ stands by its story. So there is
high-ranking officials say, yep, this is happening. I wonder if there's anyone telling Trump, listen, stay away from commuting any sentences or giving any pardons to people who've been convicted for sex trafficking. Like those are cases you just want to stay away from right now.
I don't think that there are too many people telling Trump to stay away from or to do or not do anything. Okay. Donald Trump, I believe, is pretty well on his own. He's acting as a maverick actor in the White House, and he's mostly concerned with grievance. He is, everything you don't want to be when you get to be an older man, which is like angry, full of revenge. Everything is, seen through the lens of who wronged me and how can I get back at them, and who wants to be that person? But that has defined a lot of who he is, and now that he's in power, he's pursuing all of his enemies. He's making these decisions on pardons and commutations without regard to their actual effects. And to your point, he's, I think on the doorstep of commuting or pardoning, commuting the sentence or pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell as well. So he's already pardoned, and we've talked about this before, but I'll just remind everyone, he has pardoned or issued commutations with the codicil or the addition that there be no reparations paid to victims. So that's effectively a pardon. No. Major white-collar criminals. So we're talking about tens of millions of dollars, even in some cases hundreds of millions of dollars that have been defrauded from banks, other Americans, institutions of one sort or another. And George Santos, the latest example, George Santos took the credit card numbers of those who had donated to either his campaign or to different efforts in his district. This is while he is a sitting representative, and he used those credit cards to pay for various things that he wanted, everything from, I don't know. There were a lot of cosmetic things associated with, like the Botox injections and fillers and that kind of stuff, and clothing and travel. And, so, I mean, that's just out and out fraud. Right now, the Trump family is familiar with this because they so defrauded a charity that they were barred in the state of New York from ever doing any kind of charitable work or running a charitable organization in New York. I mean, that's how much they defrauded a child's cancer charity. So it's not as though Donald Trump, I guess, doesn't know how this stuff works, and he sees another fraudster in the case of George Santos, and again, he was pardoned. That's why, just to mention Trump, I don't mean to be Trump-centric, but he is the president of the United States, and he's doing a lot of stuff that's really pretty unprecedented, so pardon me for spending a second on him. But when Donald Trump says, I'm suing the government for these witch hunt cases for $230 million. And of course, those who will be deciding on that are all, and we'll talk more about this in a bit, are all connected to Trump. He has power over them, the Todd Blanches of the world, people at the Justice Department. They're going to decide. So I'm not going to keep the money. I'm going to donate it to charity, or maybe it'll go into paying for the ballroom.
That's right. That's the new charity.
That's taxpayer money. You and I now are paying into Donald Trump's pockets, and I know it's not going to charity because nothing goes to charity with Donald Trump. He says it goes to charity, and then it doesn't. He's done veterans organizational charity work, and they've never received the check. And that's been documented in the Washington Post. Google it.
There is
They
no
went back-
shame. No shame.
I told you about the child's cancer charity, and so now you're going to tell me he's going to take this $230 million. That's from you and me. He'll take it because he's got the entire government mobbed up for him, and then he'll donate that to charity. That'll be the one outlier. I don't think so. I think that money's finding its way into the Trump organization, or it's paying for the ballroom, which, in my judgment, is just as bad. Mm-hmm. You said that the ballroom was going to be paid with private funds. I don't even know that the ballroom should have been approved, but there was no approval process. He's just doing what he wants in the same way that he's demoing part of the East Wing after saying that he wasn't going to touch the White House at all for this ballroom construction, and that's being done without oversight. This is a historical monument. It is the White House of the United States of America. That is the seat of executive power. It is steeped in history. It is not the prettiest house on the block. It's old. It's vintage. It's magnificent. It is an absolute metaphor. The total demolition of part of the East Wing alongside this radical notion that you're going to have a 90,000 square foot ballroom put in.
Yeah, I don't know why you're whining, Mark. I mean, you're getting a free ballroom out of it.
It's a total metaphor for what's happening to America. It really is. So, but I'm loving that UFC fight. Can't wait. Yeah, that'll be fun. Hope they can get that ballroom done in time. For the P. Diddy freak-off party in the new ballroom, please make your reservation early. Congressman George Santos will be heading it up. Wow.
Hey, Mark. Well, it's George Santos here.
Kindly provide him with your credit card information.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.